Well, there's been some changes of plan regarding when I review Japanese wrestling events. As you know, I mentioned I was going to do Dragon Gate and DDT. Well, I had to watch certain ones that came out, but I'll explain to that on this episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome, everybody, to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. Now, if you guys wondering what I'm talking about, why did I change my plans? Well, if you guys know this, I actually watch some wrestling shows that are free to watch. Like if you guys know that the WD Network is like $9.99 a month. There's a and also the New Japan World Live on Demand. They all have subscriptions like $9.99 a month. However, a fan who I met at the Level Up shows gave me this link where I've been watching a lot of wrestling shows, not coming from WWE and AEW. There's others like Impact Wrestling, many independent shows like Ring of Honor. Then you got the Japanese promotions like Pro Wrestling Noah. If you guys are interested, this is from watchwrestling.la. So this is like a very interesting. But recently, I already made plans to try to watch and review Dragon Gates and DDT Pro Wrestling's latest event. But however, that kind of changed when apparently it was uploaded. Now, if you recall, in one of the previous episodes, I reviewed Stardom's latest event, New Year's Stars. I already did the first 2 days. The third day just was uploaded, and then I saw the latest this wrestling promotion. I seen clips called Pro Wrestling ZERO1. So I'm gonna review those two promotions, and then the following I will do that, and also something came up with that. Also the Ohio Valley Wrestling. I will review about that too. So let's start with Pro Wrestling ZERO1. Now, if you guys don't know what is Pro Wrestling ZERO1, this is another Japanese promotion, but there's a bit of history we should talk about so you guys can understand who they are, how this came about. This promotion was founded by two individuals who used to be former stars of New Japan Pro Wrestling. They are Shinya Hashimoto and Shinjiro Otani. Now, these two guys thought of an idea of having a sort of independent promotion within New Japan. They were originally want to call it New Japan Pro Wrestling Zero. Now, however, this idea was shot down when um, Hashimoto was fired from New Japan. But however, he was able to register the name, but he called it Pro Wrestling ZERO1, which is Pro Wrestling Zero Dash One. So basically, that was pretty much it. And here's the thing: ZERO1 were enabled many to have a working agreement with many promotions such as Pro Wrestling Noah, All Japan Pro Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Rico Pro, um, Hustle, Big Mouth Loud, Kings Road, Dragon Door, now known as El Dorado Wrestling, which enabled many of the wrestlers to compete with other promotions for their promotional titles. However, in 2014, Hashimoto resigned his position as ownership due to the fact that he was having financial problems. And Otani, on the other hand, remained, and he and several others formed their own company to ensure the survival of Pro Wrestling ZERO1. And of course, later, there were one time they actually changed their name Pro Wrestling Zero 1 Max, and then they just recently decided to go Pro Wrestling ZERO1. Instead of going with spelling out the name one, it's just the number one. So you get the idea. Now, when I saw this event, it appeared they had their first event of the year exactly on January 1st of 2021. Now, some wrestlers I have recognized, some wrestlers I don't. The first match is from Satsuki Nago versus Kazuki Hashimoto. Don't ask me if he's related to the founder. I don't think so. If it was, I would have known about it. If it is, I will figure that out. But the match, I wasn't too much fond of it because A, I'm not familiarized with these two guys. Like there are wrestlers that I've seen when I watch that I'm familiarized with, but not these guys. So I'll give you who won the match anyway, and that is Kazuki, Kazuki Hashimoto. So he won his match. The next match was a tag team match. Again, I don't know these guys. The first team is Soma Wanatabe and Takanori Itoi versus Takumi Baba and Shiko Kitamura. Now, like I said, I'm not familiarized with these two guys, but however, it was a really good match. I enjoy. There's some good tag team on this one and a bit of the aggressiveness and strong style type, but the match ended with Soma Wanatabe and Takimura Ito winning. However, their opponents, the losing opponents, actually, one of them decided to continue fighting, acting like it's not even over. So they're like keep beating him up, trying to show him, stop, it's over, you're done. But they continue brawling in the bit. Next match, another tag team, and once again, I don't know these guys. We have a group known as Voodoo Murders, consistent with Chris Weiss and Yoshikatsu Yokoyama versus Hartley Jackson and Yuko Miyamoto. Again, don't know these guys. It was an okay match. Um, I try to understand who these guys are. I do know that Chris Weiss, from what I understand, from my research, is that he's from Australia, part of the Zero 1 group from down there. So I wasn't too much fond of it too, but however, I will tell you who won, and that is Hartley Jackson and Yuko Miyamoto. The next match is another tag team intergender match. It's two guys versus a guy and a girl. The first team was the Kumamoto brothers, consisting of Heed and Yatsu, versus this woman. Not to remind you, it's not her, but it's another Asuka. And I've seen this Asuka before on DDT. Ganbari, and her partner is Takuya Sugawara. Now, I am familiarized with Asuka. She lost the independent junior heavyweight title to Shota in DDT. It was kind of interesting that she had like a different personality in this promotion. I did like how she's very athletic, throwing a little bit of the gymnastic cartwheel stuff. But once again, majority of the wrestlers in this match, I'm not familiarized, but I do like the brothers, how they cohesive. I've always been a fan of tag teams that have consistent brothers, like the Bucks, the Lucha Brothers, and Top Flight, and the Hardys. Those are like the tag teams I like, where you have brothers who are very cohesive. But the uh, Kan- uh, Kubato brothers were really impressive. And Asuka's very impressive too on this one. So they won their match. Next match, it's a man title, 6-man championship. No, 6-man match. Uh, Again, this is going to be interesting. It consistent of Yumehito and Imanari, Shinjiro Otani, the founder, and of course, wrestling legend Aja Kong facing the Strong Hearts, T-Hawk, El Lindaman, and Sema. Now, this was a really, really good match. I enjoyed. I'm a fan of Aja Kong and, of course, the Strong Hearts. But however, you ask yourself, is Aja Kong really here? I'm like, yes, she's a wrestling legend. She's not like affiliated with one promotion. She can go any promotion since she's a freelancer. But it was a good match. I like it. However, the match ended with the Strong Hearts. As soon as the match was over, all of a sudden Asuka showed up. I don't know what they're saying, even though there was no English translation. She started getting under the skin of El Lindaman. Now, I don't know what she wants. El Lindaman is a current title holder of 2 titles within this promotion. Now, you ask yourselves, wait a minute, isn't it the Strong Hearts with AEW? Yes, but they haven't been unable to get back to the States due to the fact of their restrictions in Japan. I do know that the Strong Hearts had made various appearances at certain promotions, such as DDT Pro Wrestling. Shima made appearance at All Japan Pro Wrestling. It all depends on how they're working together to ensure the wrestlers are either financially. But that's another story for another time. But I don't know what they were saying, but whatever happened, Asuka was getting under El Lindeman's skin. Now the main event was a championship match. It's for the Zero One World Heavyweight title versus the consistent of the challenger. I mentioned this guy a few times. Masato Tanaka versus the champion Tamura Ayato. Now this was a very good match. You look at Masato Tanaka, a veteran who's been around the wrestling game for a while. He's been prominent in this promotion before, even though he was also in New Japan. And he's facing a younger guy like Tamura Hayato. So you ask yourself, why would he be in this type of match? Come on. According to my friend, he's told me he is very prominent in this promotion a lot. Uh, but it was very impressive. I did enjoy. Um, Masato will always impresses me with his abilities, what he can do, and of course, he is now the new Zero One World Heavyweight Champion. But however, in the post match, I don't know what they said. Even Shima shows up. Looks like he may want to have a piece of Masato for the title or take dibs. Not really sure. Um, to be honest with you, I did like the event, but however, I feel like if this link that I watch, if they post more of Pro Wrestling ZERO1, I probably will enjoy it. Much like I watch New Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, Dragon Gate, and all that. So I think that's it for now with this promotion. I hope you guys enjoyed. So right now, let's jump in with Stardom with their latest event on day 3 of New Year's Stars. Okie dokie. So as you know, we got Stardom day 3 of New Year's Stars, which took place on January 4th of 2021. So let's go from start to finish. The first match is between Lady C and Kogi and Def. Now, these two have faced each other on 3-way matches on 2 different occasions. Now, Lady C, before the match, believes herself that she may have the advantage because this is her first time being in a singles competition with Kogi Def. But if you guys know this, Kogi Def, she always wins her matches in 3 ways, but this was going to be her first time in the singles competition. But however, this did not go well for Lady C. Um, you probably ask me, why does she keep losing? Well, A, she's not affiliated. Maybe B, she's still coming out of the dojo. That's my option. You saying she's not affiliated with any of the factions? Yes, she's not. She's not with Queen's Quest or Donna de Mondo or Stars or Cosmic Angels or Odio Tai. So, Goki the Deaf won her singles match. The next match is another match. This one is Ruka versus Natsuko Tora from Odetai. Now, as you know, Ruka is the member of Stars. Um, no, Natsuko Tora doesn't play by anybody's rules. She believes that's a waste of time, waste of what she wants to do. And she demonstrated on this match against Ruka, even if the ref wasn't looking. So she won that match like that. That's her real game. Next match is a tag team match. We have the Cosmic Angels, Tam Nakano and Unagi Sayaka versus Queen's Quest, Suya Kamitani and Momo Wanatabe. Now, this match was so unbelievably good. Now, you got to remember, um, Tam and Unagi are trying to do the best they can as possible to maintain their status due to the fact that Mina Shirakawa is currently out on injury. Once again, I mentioned this a few times. She broke her nose on the 26th of December event, which was her birthday. So she said that she'll be out for 2 months. So that means she'll be back maybe somewhere in February or so, but we'll see. Of course, Nagi carried her belt, the one that she uses. But this match was so unbelievably good because they were determined to win. Now, people are looking at the Cosmic Angels as a separate unit away from what Stars were about. And they are determined to prove that they're not a joke, that they are mean business, that they are striking on their own. Um, if you guys must know, I did hear from Twitter followers that from Twitter that Mina Shirakawa has a little bit of experience in wrestling. If you guys must know, she was in fact with Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling for a time, but now she's with Stardom. But seeing Tam and Unagi, they feel like they can hold their own even without Amina. But as for Queen's Quest, Saya and Momo, their determination that they're trying to win this match. Now, however, I did mention if either Saya or Momo pin um, Unagi or Tam, automatically they'll get a chance for this Artist of Stardom, the Artist of Stardom titles, which currently are being held by Cosmic Angels, and they have to wait until Mina Shirakawa gets back to make that match happen. So the match was going back and forth, but finally it ended in a time limit draw. But it appears like this match was not done yet. I hope they're trying to renew this match to ensure that one of them has to come out as a winner. Next match, we have a tag team match. We have Donna Demondo, consistent of Hamika and Mikey, facing off Queen's Quest, Azami, and Utani Hayashishida. Now, as you know, Micah is challenging Utani for her the Goddess of Stardom title, which is the main one, or they dub it as the Red Belt. But Donna Demono, aka DDM, are very impressive on this match. Um, I mean, the Queen's Quest, don't get me wrong, they're a good team, but they seem like they're making a name for themselves, being a good faction that needs to be well known. And of course, it was Micah who made the pin on this one. But however, she tells Utani that in the post match that she is in great shape to take her on, which is going to take place on what was it? January 17th in Cork and Hall. But Utani told her, "You keep telling yourself that. I'm always in great shape." So basically, this is going to be an interesting feud that we may see down the line. Now, the main event, we have a three-way, six-woman tag team match. It's consistent with three teams. First team, we got Odio Tai, Saki Kashima, Konami, and B. Priestley versus Stars, Saya Ida, Starlight Kid, Mayu Iwatani versus DDM, Natsupoi, Suri, and Julia. Now, however, keep in mind, Julia still has a beef with Natsuko Tora, who will be by Odeotai's corner. So much of the match gets a little hectic, very confusing. Like you don't know who is the legal person. Much of the fight took place outside of the ring. Audio Tai, excuse me. Audio Tai has been trying to always cheat their way to win, but however, Natsuko Tora, without the referee notice, she tries to choke out Julia. to make a point that she doesn't play by the rules. But however, the match ended with um, Starlight Kid pinning Konomi. Now I don't know if she will have a tag team title opportunity because I do know that Mayu, Starlight Kid, and Saya Ida were in fact are challenging the Cosmic Angels for their Artist of Stardom titles, which we don't know when that'll happen once Mina Shirakawa returns. Now, before the end of the event, Saya gave out a little promo to remind people that both Starlight Kid and Mia are going to show up on TV. It's very promoted stuff. That's how it ends. So I hope you guys enjoy me reviewing these Japanese wrestling shows. And like I said, Pro Wrestling ZERO1 is a brand new one I've been watching. It's been around since a long time in the 2000s. If you guys have the link that I mentioned, watchwrestling.la, then you guys will enjoy watching those. So, I must bid all of you guys adieu. So, goodbye, mwah, and have a nice day. Bang.